I hear quite often, Leo, please help me create or expand my platform, or my storefront for that matter. To which I say, okay, how do you envision this happening for yourself or for your business? And then I hear, well, I don't know, maybe producing a podcast or launching a webinar or publishing a book or creating a new clothing line or whatever it is that people do to create or expand a platform. And I say, okay, no worries. So who is this solution for? And I get crickets. The silence is unbearable. And then I hear words, just words, no coherence, just words. And that's okay, because that's exactly where I want this person to be. This is a good place. Crickets are good. You know why? Because it's a really good sign that I get to help someone do it correctly. It's a chance to save one business owners from rework and frustration. So thinking back to the original predicament early in the example, did you notice what was the common denominator in all of the things people asked for help with? Well, if you didn't catch it, here it is again. Podcast, webinar, book, clothing line. Okay, so what's the common denominator in all of them? Okay, I'll tell you. Is media. Yes, media. Almost everyone that wants to create a solution for their customers is obsessed at starting with the media first, which is quite honestly the last thing you should be thinking about when preparing to launch a new solution onto the marketplace. In other words, thinking or worrying or planning the use of media first without allowing some time to think through the audience that will be consuming your product is an almost certain road to utter frustration and rework. The one thing you want to avoid at all costs in your business, rework. It's expensive and it's all sunk cost. So let's not start thinking about media first. There is a smarter, more effective, and efficient way, I promise. So what product format is right for you? Well, it all depends on your industry and your niche. A solopreneur's audience needs, desires, and consumption behaviors might be very different than those for a brick and mortar storefront and could swing wide across the spectrum of consumer behavior for a service professional, a consultant, or even more differently for a visionary entrepreneur. What's my point? The media or the product format selection first starts with audience or your customers first. So when creating a solution for anyone, whether you're mixing up chocolate milk for your kids or putting together a solution to bring water to a village in Africa, we must always think of the audience first. Let's use the chocolate milk example. Anyone who cares about delivering this solution, the chocolate milk, the right way would start the process by thinking about the audience first, the child. Even if you're not the parent of this child, you would ask at least questions like, how old is this child? Or what's their favorite glass or cup? Or is it the red one? Or is it the white cup? Does he like his chocolate milk thick like a milkshake or less dense? Are they able to hold the cup themselves? Are there more than one child that wants chocolate milk? Do we have enough for everyone, right? You see, these are normal questions anyone would ask themselves when attempting to prepare chocolate milk for a child. They started with the audience in mind. Who is this for? Knowing this information will dictate our behavior in the next step of the process. The next steps asks, what are we conveying to this audience? In this case, the child. After first understanding the audience for your solution, then we need to think about what are we going to say to them. Okay? So this is the second step, the message. First was the audience or the market. Next is the message. What are we saying to them? What's the message? Let's keep going with the chocolate milk. I like it. So we know who we're serving. We know their likes and dislikes. And now it's time to say the magic words. Would you deliver chocolate milk in anger? Or would you be sweet? Knowing that our child would want to hear sweet words of encouragement alongside that deliciously beautiful glass of chocolate milk is a cue to understanding messaging at its purest form. Saying the right thing to the right person at the right time matters a lot. When we start translating what we're just talking about into marketing, then we need to start thinking about words such as pain and pleasure and benefits and why should I care about this product or feature, etc. Always driven by what the consumer wants. Typically, they want to gain a benefit or gain a pleasure or avoid a pain. Oh, and when thinking about benefits, always put yourself in this position. Do people wake up in the morning and say to themselves, gee, I really need some leadership today? No, they don't. They say, no one says that, right? In reality, people wake up and say things like, gee, I need to make some more money today. Or, gee, I hope I don't get fired today. Or, gee, I'm so tired, I'm fat. And if I say gee one more time, we're gonna stop this episode. But seriously, I think you get it. First comes the audience or the market, then comes the message. Or what do we want to convey to the audience that's going to resonate with them and move them to action? And lastly, finally, the very last thing we worry about is the media in which the solution will be delivered. A product, mathematically speaking, is really the end outcome of the solution that you bring to your ravenous customers. So, to answer the question that's the title of this podcast, what product format is right for you? Well, it depends on who the audience is and what do we want to convey to them. These two critical elements will dictate the product format. Here's my closing argument. Why should you care about all of this? For two reasons. If you're struggling with your marketing, whether it's online or otherwise, or you are a person that finds yourself saying, I'm good at sales or I'm good at marketing often, but those beliefs don't necessarily translate into dollars in your pocket, this is especially for you. So number one, this is important because most people cannot keep up with all the technological changes happening daily in marketing. And number two, the consumer world has become hyper fragmented, which has forced smart marketers and small business owners to hyper target small niches and audiences to consume their products and services. So basically, most people can't keep up with all the changes in technology to just rely on some landing page to do the job because the strategy will change and you'll find yourself left in the dust. And it's tough to sell to a perceived mass market when in reality, today, we have to hyper target because consumer attention span is fragmented and people are now very smart in what they want from us. So give them what they want, not what you think they want. This begins by asking them. Simple as that. My point, by sticking to the basis of first identifying what the market or the audience wants and what they need first, then crafting the message we want to convey to the correct audience in a way that they'll receive it, and then selecting the media or the format we want to use to convey the solution, we will be triumphant in our efforts. All right, my friends, that's it for today. I hope you liked it and let me hear from you. Until I see you again, remember to live with intensity and shine your brightest today.
Like what you got here today? Visit us at Formulaica.com. And don't forget to subscribe, like us, leave us a review, and share this message with all your friends. Check out the rest of our episodes where we will always share simple, brief, and actionable tips on the topics of technology, operations, and marketing for your small business. Thank you for tuning in, and we look forward to sharing some more time with you again soon.